Good morning and welcome to our weekly update for Elmira Baptist Church. It is September 1st already, Thursday, September 1st, 2022. It's hard to believe that it's already September. That means we've got a new course of the month this Sunday, and you can come on out on Sunday to find out what it is. I've got 3 quotes for you this morning. They're all sort of similar, and let me give them to you in this order. The first one is by a man. I have a lot of respect for him, but his theology is completely off. It's okay. I believe he's a brother in Christ, but his name is Tony Campolo, and he said this: "The greatest danger to those who would follow Jesus is not overt persecution from society, but subtle seduction by its values. Compromise with the culture has always had more potential for annihilating true faith than has intellectual skepticism or the threat of being thrown to the lions. The subtle seduction of our values, compromise with the culture, that's where he sees our greatest danger." Here's the second one. This is Stanley Jones. He was a famous missionary to India. Again, I don't agree with everything theologically that he taught, but he has a very interesting quote. He said this: "People say that we must adapt the language and..." Let me start that over. Quote, "People say we must adopt the language and culture of the day to be relevant today. This is a mistake. If the church marries itself to the spirit of the times, it will be a widow in the next generation." End quote. Let me read that whole quote to you again from the beginning. Quote, "People say that we must adopt the language and culture of the day to be relevant today. That is a mistake. If the church marries itself to the spirit of the times, it will be a widow in the next generation." End quote. Now I have one more. Erwin Lutzer said this, quote, "Since Christ said that the world would hate him, we can be quite sure that when the world loves him, it is because they have made him into something he is not." End quote. Just let those sink in. We need to be very careful that we don't look to society, to culture, to American government, or to Americans in general for confirmation that what we're doing is correct. They share a different value system than we do. They have a different mindset, a different worldview. They think differently about things. Moving on, we finished our study of inspiration, preservation, canonization, translation, and illumination last night. And we finished up with the translation issue. But if you want to understand last night's study, you do need to go back and catch up on the other lessons that we taught about that issue. You can go back to sermon audio, and you're looking for the series called Bible Inspired Preserved 2022. Again, the title of the series is Bible Inspired Preserved 2022. Last night's message, as of right now, has not yet been posted to that, but soon it should be posted to that. So you can go to sermonaudio.com. Again, you can find that through the church's website, elmirafamily.com. Scroll down the page, get to the sermon audio link, click through, go to the series on there and find Bible Inspired Preserved 2022, and go back and listen to any that you might have missed. And I encourage you to do that. It's an important topic, and it's important to our church. So if you missed some of those, I would encourage you to catch up. Now this Sunday, we are going to meet to worship God. Will you join us? Now I know it's Labor Day weekend. Some of you may have plans, some travel plans, and I'm good with that. It's important that we take a break from work from time to time to relax, and if you're traveling to see family, I'm all for seeing family. If you are here this weekend, join us. Now it is Labor Day weekend, so this Sunday's message will be about work. God cares about our labor. Now I'm going to encourage you to read the 10 Commandments from Exodus chapter 20 to prepare yourself for the message. Now, I know what you're going to say. Whoa, 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 whoa. 10 Commandments? What does the 10 Commandments have to say about work? Well, read them, if you would. Exodus chapter 20. Read the 10 Commandments, and you note what it says about work. And then come on out on Sunday and see what the message is about. In the evening, I figure it's Labor Day weekend. The only folks that will be here on Sunday evening are going to be the dedicated, committed core of Elmira Baptist Church. I hope that's you. And I want to teach us, remind us, instruct us again on what is the core mission of Elmira Baptist Church. You can read Proverbs 4:23 through 27. That's the text. We will also look at many other scriptures as we seek to understand and remind ourselves again about what the core mission of Elmira Baptist Church is. If you miss the weekend's messages because of travel, because you're with family, I do understand. Get to sermon audio. Again, elmirafamily.com. Scroll down the page to the sermon audio link. It'll take you to all of these messages. You can see them in chronological order. You can see them by series. You can see the Sunday school separate from the Sunday morning. All of that is there on sermonaudio.com and get caught up. I encouraged you last week to take this month, September, and invite someone to your home or invite them to meet you for coffee or at the park or whatever, but get together with like-minded believers in Christ. Have you made plans for that? If you haven't, please do. And if you're one of those families, we have many of you here at Elmira Baptist Church. Many of you that invite folks over regularly. Step up and invite a second family over for another time, or get two families together. But go an extra mile this month, September 2022, to meet with people outside of these four walls that are brothers and sisters in Christ. Here's some upcoming events. Saturday, September 10th is a men's work day. I had it listed at 9 o'clock in last week's bulletin. Let's bump that up to 8:30. It's supposed to be hot. We'll get our outside work done first, and then we'll move inside. We've got plenty to do. That is Saturday, September 10th, starting at 8:30 in the morning. September 24th is also a Saturday, and that's the Ladies Missionary Project meeting. 10:30 in the morning on Saturday, September 24th for you ladies. Friday, October 7th is the Star Watch Party in the evening. That's Friday, October 7th. And then there's a ladies' retreat Thursday, October 20th through Saturday, October 22nd. That's a ladies' retreat at Wolf Mountain. If you've already signed up, you know who you are. There was a limit, and I think we've got that met that limit. So this announcement is for those of you ladies who've already signed up. Men, it's not too late to sign up for the 2-minute warning. Go to the2minutewarning.org and you can sign up there. That's a Friday and Saturday, November 4th and November 5th, which, yes, runs right up to our Thankful for 65 Years banquet on Sunday, November 6th. You'll want to be here for that. Sunday, November 6th, Thankful for 65 Years. Then November 7th, 8th, and 9th, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, we have invited Matt Galvin, an evangelist, to preach to us. So I don't want you to miss those opportunities on Monday through Wednesday, November 7th through the 9th, to hear him preach. We still have a verse for memorization and meditation. We'll have that all through this year. And I'm also considering keeping that going into 2023. Meditation is very important. And I love our verse this week. Psalm 119:97. Oh, how I love thy law. It is my meditation all the day. Oh, how love I thy law. It is my meditation all the day. If you haven't taken an opportunity to memorize that verse, it's a short one. Memorize it. Meditate on it. Think about what it means. Do we love God's law? Do we meditate on it constantly? Fathers, teach this verse to your children. Help them to understand its meaning and implement it in their lives. If you would pray for John and Earl, AAA Ministries, they are headed to Ghana, West Africa, later on this month. They've had a lot of obstacles to this trip. A lot of things happen that seem to be in the way. So far, God has resolved each one, and they expect God will continue to resolve each of these as they prepare to go to Ghana. But pray for them. Their goal is to spark new evangelistic fervor there among the African people that they'll meet there. It's amazing. This story starts in Hong Kong. When John took a group over to Hong Kong to do some street evangelism, a man was saved in Hong Kong who later returned to Ghana and started a church in Ghana, and now it's at that church that John and Earl plan to minister here in this month. So it's an amazing story, and if you missed it in the Nordstrom's latest prayer letter, let me encourage you to read that. It's posted for you on our missions board, but definitely pray for John and for Earl as they travel to West Africa. Now, for a devotional this morning, I want to look at Proverbs chapter 9 and several verses there, verses 7, 8, 9, and 10. Proverbs 9, 7 through 10. Let me read it to you. Proverbs 9, 7 says, "He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding." The knowledge of the holy is understanding. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Do you see there what the difference between a scorner and the wise man is? Yes, the scorner doesn't listen to rebuke. He hates the man who rebukes him. The wise man takes rebuke. He becomes wiser still. But what's the dividing line between a scorner and a wise man? I've met a lot of scorners in my life, particularly when I was teaching in high school. I think immaturity lends itself to a scornful attitude. It's much easier to make fun of somebody's statement, somebody's theology, somebody's rules. It's easy to make fun, to poke holes. It's hard to live those things out. And so the scorner is the fellow who sits and just says, "I can't believe you did that. Oh man, I would have never done it that way. Hey, look at that over there. That's crazy. I don't know why they're doing that." But he's not doing. He's just scornful. What's the difference between the scorner and the wise man? In the context here, the main difference I see is the fear of the Lord and a knowledge of the Holy One. A fear of the Lord and a knowledge of the Holy One. The scorner doesn't fear the Lord. He doesn't have a knowledge of the Holy One, so he can't understand wisdom. He doesn't have understanding. The fear of the Lord, the man who has the fear of the Lord, who has a knowledge of the Holy, boy, he has wisdom, he has understanding, he can take in more and become wiser still. So what is the fear of the Lord? I came across a definition, heard it preached a couple of years ago. I wrote it down. Let me share with you this simple definition. The fear of the Lord is an absolute certainty that God will ultimately judge and eradicate everything that is evil. The fear of the Lord also is an absolute certainty that God will ultimately reward and establish everything that is righteous. Reward and establish everything that is righteous. And then number 3, it's an absolute submission. The fear of the Lord is an absolute submission to God, acknowledging that He does determine what is evil and what is righteous. When I have that, the absolute certainty of His coming judgment, the absolute certainty of His coming reward, and an absolute submission to God, acknowledging that He determines what's right and wrong. He makes the rules. He justly enforces His rules. When I come to that understanding, when that's on my mind and in my heart, then I can put away scorning and I can learn from rebuke. I can learn from the wisdom of others. Do you have that fear of the Lord? Are you learning when others teach you? Or are you just dismissive when people reprove you or point out some weakness or point out some sin? Let's not be scornful. Let's not be those who hate others who are trying to point us in the right direction. Let's be the wise man whom is rebuked and becomes wiser still. Be that just man who can increase in learning. The difference? The fear of the Lord. I hope you'll join us this Sunday, even though it's Labor Day weekend. If you are in town, plan to meet with us. 9:45 for Sunday school, 11 o'clock for our morning worship, 5 o'clock we'll meet for our evening worship, and we'll look at some of those core principles, those core foundational principles, beliefs that make us Elmira Baptist Church. Whether you join us virtually or in person, I hope you'll see me there.